Hello, I'm Marty Goodwin. I graduated from Highland in 1978. I played football throughout all my high school years and had a great time. I was blessed to have always had good coaches. I can remember in the 7th grade, the first day of school, Coach Hagan got every boy that was in the 7th grade, and we went outside and got beside the football field, and he said, "How many of you want to play football?" And probably 2/3 of us wanted to play football. He said, "All right, y'all come over here. The ones who don't want to play football, you can start picking up trash under the bleachers." And I went, "Oh, I made a good choice there." But he was a great coach. And after that, Coach Hill was amazing all through school. Coach Katrosh came later on when I was in the 10th grade, I believe. He was a good man, still is a good man. Always had good teammates, still good friends with some of them. Most everybody will know Clay Wiggins. He graduated with me. And he, like me, used to be skinny and fast. But Danny Riga, lot of guys still live here that played football with me. Jeff Stone was probably the one that saved my life all through senior year, blocking for me. But very good team. Always had winning teams. But again, blessed to play football at Highland, because I've been other places and nothing is as good as this. But again, I was just always blessed. It's been a good place to go to school. When my kids grew up, went to school here, it's fun to come back and see things, and to come back to see my friends' kids play sports and keep up with that. But always be proud to be a Highland Rebel. You know, I got friends. Jeff Stone, the one I mentioned a while ago, he can almost tell you every play of every game. I can't do that. We always finish second nearly every time. And then you didn't go to the state playoffs unless you won the conference. So, and we didn't even get by. Like the year they won state, they got in by being the kind of like the alternate, and they worked their way up and won the state championship. But we didn't have nothing like that. I was just the first running back to have ever ran for 1,000 yards in a season, which there's many probably have since then, but I was just the first one, which makes me the old guy. So, but it was neat. But again, you don't win awards like that. You don't do things on your own. It's because you have good people around you. Coach Katrosh was a stickler for the fundamentals. Like I say, you knew how to do everything. You've been taught that your whole life, but that didn't mean you weren't going to practice it every day at practice. And there was no question. It just made it instinct to how to make a correct tackle, or how to block, or just anything. And it was good. You know, he was always the serious coach because he had to be. He was the senior high coach. He'd crack up some, but not much. But now Coach Hill was the fun one. He would get the biggest lineman against the smaller guy and say, "All right, call him a sissy." He'd go, "Oh, come on, you can call him a sissy." You know, and then they would just tackle him, and he'd go, "Oh," you know, Coach Hill, "Oh." And it was funny. It was just how all the team just had fun, and nobody got hurt. It wasn't like it was to kill them. It was, you know, that was your teammate, so you never did anything that beat mean to them. Well, some players that really stuck out was on offense, which I mostly played offense, was Mitchell Rogers. He was a good quarterback. The other running backs was Mike Goings and Danny McGuire. They were fast. They were good also. But we always had pretty good sized linemen. It's embarrassing to say now that what we used to think was a big lineman, I probably outweigh them about 30 pounds now. So I didn't used to be this chubby. But it was just fun. Defense, we had guys that could hit. Danny Riga was good. Rick Jerzak was good. Just a bunch of good guys. But the main thing that made it fun, was not only on the field we were close, but off the field. We just did everything together. We go swimming. We just do things we weren't probably supposed to be doing, but we did it together all the time. We just had fun being with each other. All through, just from the 7th grade up, I was always the running back and then tailback, and that's what, at that time, I was the first running back at Highland to rush for 1,000 yards. And I'm sure many have done it since then, but that's just where I was blessed to be the first one to do it. And so that's pretty neat. That's something that a little accomplishment you will always have. But just wouldn't have done it if it hadn't been for all the rest of them. Practices were horrible because it was hot, and but back in those days, we didn't goof off all summer. Everybody swam. Everybody showed up for camp before school in pretty good shape. I mean, everybody was in pretty good shape. So we didn't have to make video games to keep everybody busy. We walked and rode bikes and ran around and played all the time. But that was neat. Practices, they were going to make it hard one way or the other. The coach was going to make it where you worked at it. But again, they still made it enough fun that it wasn't like a job. It was still something you look forward to. You look forward to hanging out with everybody. And then to show up on game night and see the bleachers pretty full, and that's pretty neat. But as soon as the kickoff starts, you hear everybody, and then it just goes whoosh. You don't hear another thing other than the coach hollering at you. But you don't hear the fans too much once the game starts. It's pretty well focused on that. Pep rallies were awesome. I mean, the whole school, back then, of course, everybody had a jacket like that. Everybody wore their jackets. Everybody's girlfriend had their other jersey on the game day. It was just neat. School spirit was amazing then, because there just wasn't a whole lot other going on other than school stuff. There's a lot of stuff that gets you sidetracked now, worldly stuff. But not so much then. It was good. And the school backed you good. It was pretty neat. It's good. It's cool to be a rebel. To the board or the members of the Hall of Fame committee, it's a huge honor to get this. I didn't think I'd ever get it. I was talking to Mr. Carter about that, and I go, I never dreamed I'd get this, because I just thought it was a well-rounded award. He goes, no, it's athletic. And I said, thank goodness there wasn't no academic award with it, because that would have been a booger. But it's amazing to even be considered, because to think about how many good athletes, not just football, but every sport here, how many good athletes have been at Highland High School, and to be able to receive this award as being one of the Hall of Fame, it's awesome. It's awesome. But I think my mom's prouder than me. And hey, there's something I say, but I don't know if you can say it. Every time I hear them talk about not being Highland Rebels anymore because of rebels, that burns me up. Because it should always be Highland Rebels. I'll always be a Highland Rebel.